Hi guys, welcome to Regular Clothes Reviews. For my first review, I'm going to be talking about this pair of Vans Eras. What we have here is a pair of size 10 Eras in a two-tone charcoal and gray upper. The upper is canvas, and like almost all Vans, they have this vulcanized rubber sole with the super cool waffle tread pattern on the bottom that Vans is pretty known for. MSRP of these shoes is 45 US dollars. You can get them less on sale. I've seen them go as low as 30, sometimes lower, but you're looking at realistically $35 on sale, sometimes a little bit more. So, like I said, these are Eras. The most popular pair of Vans are probably Authentics, which I also have a pair of right here. The biggest difference between Eras and Authentics would be the sole, or the back of the shoe right here around the heel, has this padded cushion area that the Authentics don't have. It's just flat. Now, whether this is for comfort or style, I don't know. I can't tell the difference actually. I wear these I have worn these as well as Authentics and many other Vans very extensively. I would say that these are more comfortable than Authentics, but not because of the heel. Actually, it feels like they have better cushioning in them. I don't know. So speaking of fit, let's get into that. I wear a size 10 in almost every shoe that I've tried. Vans, size 10, Converse Jack Purcell, size 10, PF Flyers, center lows and highs, size 10, Allen Edmonds, size 10D, medium, Red Wings, Iron Rangers, size 9.5, those run a little bit big, Clark's Desert Boots, size 9, those run a whole size big, Nike Kill Shots, size 10. So if you're looking for sizing information, I say these are pretty true to size. I don't know my size on the Brannock device, which is the scale that they use in shoe stores to measure your feet. But I think I can pretty confidently say that these run true to size, but I can't tell you that for sure without knowing my size on that scale. So that said, let's talk about the quality of these shoes. The upper, like I said, on this pair is canvas. Vans does make suede uppers and leather uppers, but for the sake of this review, canvas uppers. The vulcanized rubber sole is glued to the upper, and if you've never owned a pair of vulcanized rubber sole shoes like this that has a glued upper, you might be disappointed to find out that no matter what you do, you are going to make the rubber separate from the upper where the shoe creases where you walk. So right wherever it creases, which is right here, right at the edges, you're going to see separation here and here. Can't help it. I've tried fixing it on this pair with a product called Shoe Goo. It's glue for shoes. It worked for a little while and it came back undone. So mileage may vary. My pair is, when did I get these shoes? I think I got them in August of 2011. Might be off on that. I wore them a lot at first, and as I added shoes to my shoe collection, I stopped wearing them as much because I had more shoes to wear. But these days, maybe once every week or so, and in the beginning I wore them all the time. And they've held up pretty well. Check the tag here. I know some people care about this. It says made in China. If you are the type of person that wants to ensure that your clothes are made in a first world country for ethics related issues, or because you just like the quality or whatever, if that means something for you, this is made in China. Okay, so moving along to the aesthetic of these shoes. It's a very simple shoe. There's nothing unnecessary on this shoe except for maybe the fact that it's two different colors. There's nothing wrong with that. They are pretty nice to look at, and this particular color goes with almost anything except for gray pants, unless you want to look all monotone. Good color for your first pair of shoes, or for your only pair of shoes, I guess. But speaking of that, make sure that you have at least 2 pairs of shoes to alternate with, because if you wear the same pair of shoes every day, you're going to not give them time to dry out, and if your shoes don't dry out, they're going to stay moist from your feet being in them all day, even if you leave them overnight. And what that does is that moisture causes the shoes to deteriorate faster and to obviously smell worse than they would if you gave them the time that they need to just air out and breathe. I would give credit of how long my Vans have lasted, or this pair of Vans have lasted, to me doing that and to just generally taking care of them. I mean, like I said, the quality is pretty decent, but they're canvas shoes with rubber and glue. They're going to break down eventually. Yeah, so moving on to the hitting on comfort again. I don't know if I have a high arch or a normal arch in my foot. I believe it's normal. Vans don't have much in the way of arch support in these shoes. I'm looking in here right now, and it's pretty flat. So if you have, I forgot if they call it overpronation, or if that's even the right term, or I could be saying it wrong, but the term where you have a high arch in your foot and you need arch support, it's going to make your feet hurt. If that's what you've got, use innersoles with these, because it's going to hurt. If you're flat-footed or normal arch, I guess, you'll probably be fine. I have no issues with that. Probably the second most comfortable pair of Vans I have behind my skate highs. Many pairs of skate highs, only one pair of plain Eras. Not for that reason, I just happen to like skate highs. So, all of that said, final thoughts. If you were looking for a good starter shoe to add to your wardrobe, this is a great option. Similar options would be Kia Flyers, Jack Purcells, Converse Chucks. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of Chucks because they're so ubiquitous. They're everywhere. And that's not to say that Vans aren't nearly equally as popular, because I see Vans everywhere also, but I feel it's less everywhere. So that part is up to you. But as far as Vans go, I like the way they look. I like the way they're shaped. I like the way they feel. I like the price. And for a cheap shoe that is not sewn around the little rubber sidewall here or anything, they've held up pretty well. So, you know, I can't really say that much bad about these shoes. Solid 8 out of 10, really, on a sneaker scale. I mean, that's not to say that they're the best pair of footwear out there, but as far as comparing to other sneakers goes, I'd say, yeah, 8 out of 10. So, again, $45 MSRP, or get them on sale. Obviously, I'd suggest waiting for a sale, but if you need a pair of shoes, what can you do if they're not on sale? Well, that's it for this review. If you like what you saw and you want to see more, please click the like button below, and I'd really appreciate you hitting the subscribe button. And you can also visit my website at regularclothesreviews.com, where you can find a much more eloquently written review of these shoes than I can speak of them. Maybe a little bit more information on them, and I'll probably post a link for you to buy them if you can't find them on your own. But hey, thanks for watching again, and see you next time.